Hello, so today we are starting with a quadratic equation. So what do you mean by a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is written in the form we can say this is a quadratic equation. In other words, we can say a quadratic equation is an equation where the highest power of the x, or the variable x, is 2. In the same way, we call this equation linear equation because here the power of x is 1. Here the highest power of x is 2. That's why we call this a quadratic equation. Okay, so this quadratic equation chapter is all about solving a quadratic equation. Like, we need to bring out the solution. We need to solve for the solutions of x, like what values of x we put in here, the solution, the equation will be satisfied. Okay, so we learn how to solve a quadratic equation. First, we learn the simplest method or the middle term factorization method. Okay, we learn middle term factorization method to solve a quadratic equation. This is the first part we are going to deal with. Okay, so what is this method? Like, what we do in this method? This method is basically factorizing the equation or bringing out the factors of the equation. So what do we do? Let's see. For example, if there is an equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So what do we do now? First, we take the coefficient of x square, that is a. Then we take that coefficient with x to the power 0, right? Or we can say it's 1. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So we take this little coefficient, that is c, and we multiply this. Okay, so what we do, we take the coefficient of x square and the coefficient of x to the power 0 and we multiply them. Okay, and it comes ac. Then we prime factorize this number, this product. Okay, we prime factorize this product, and that prime factorization is divided into two parts such that if we add or subtract those two parts, this coefficient should be the answer. Let me help you with an example. For example, I'll take one equation. Okay, the equation is 3x square minus 14x plus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the equation 3x square minus 14x plus 8 is equal to 0. So what are we going to do? At first, we are going to take the coefficient of x square, that is 3. Okay, then we are going to take the coefficient of x to the power 0, that is this, which is 8. Okay, and we are going to multiply them. Okay, that comes to 24. Second step is we need to prime factorize this product, that is 24. Let's do it here. 24. 2 12s are 24, 2 6s are 12, 2 3s are 6, 3 1s are 3. So here goes the prime factorization. 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 gives the product 24. Okay. Now we have to break this prime factors into two parts, such that if we add or subtract these two parts, we'll get 14. No, we'll get minus 14. We need to take care of the signs as well, because the general form of a quadratic equation is always ax square plus bx plus c. This is the general form, is equal to 0. This is the general form. Here we always assume that the sign between the coefficients or the parts is a plus sign. So this equation we can write in this form. So see, here we are getting the coefficient of x as minus 14 if we write the equation in this general form. Comparing these two equations, we get a is equal to 3, b is equal to minus 14, c is equal to 8. Okay, previously I told that we need to multiply a and c, and we need to prime factorize it. Then we need to break the prime factors into two parts, such that if we add or subtract the two parts, we should get the coefficient b. Here the coefficient b is equal to minus 14, and my prime factors are 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. So we have to break these prime factors in such two parts, so that if we add or subtract the two parts, we should get minus 14 and not just 14. Remember it, we need to take care of the signs as well. It's very important, don't forget. Okay, so let's rub it off. This not. Okay. So my prime factors are this 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. Okay. Can you guess what can be the two parts? Okay. See, if I multiply these three numbers or digits, and if I keep this digit alone, what we'll get? We'll get here 2, and we'll get here 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 3, 12. Now, we can very clearly see that if we add 12 and 2, we'll get 14. But if we only add 2 plus 12, will we get minus 14? No, right? We won't get minus 14. So, we need to make some changes in the sign. Okay? What can we do? Minus and minus, because minus 2 plus 12 will give us plus 10. Also plus 2 minus 12 will give us minus 10. So these two options are wrong. Also we saw plus 2 and plus 12 will give us plus 14. But what we need is minus 14. So we need to arrange them in with their signs in a suitable order, so that the signs will lead us to our desired answer. Is it clear? So see, minus 2 and minus 12, if we do this, we'll get minus 14. Okay. So now we'll write it in a different manner. We'll write it in the same way, 3x squared, we just copy it. Now minus 14, we can write minus 14 in this way. Minus 2 and minus 12. We can write it this way. Okay? Sorry. Minus 2 minus 12x plus 8 is equal to 0. See, we are getting here a minus sign. So we'll open up the brackets. Plus into minus 2x minus 12x plus 8 is equal to 0. Okay. So now we need to take common. Not from the whole thing, but from the half of its contents. Like here, from these two parts, what we can get common is a x. Let's take x common. Then 3x minus 2 is what remains. Then from here, we need to take again something common. Here we can take a minus common and also a 4 common. See, we can take a 4 common. So what remains is 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so one thing, how do we get to know that whether to take a plus sign common or a minus sign common? The answer lies here. See, in the first part we got 3x minus 2 and the method is factorization method. It's clear that there should be some common factors. Okay, so in the first part we got 3x minus 2. Similarly, we have to get this 3x minus 2 in the second part also. Okay. So seeing this part, you can calculate logically, mentally, you can calculate what sign we should take common so that the answer comes this. Okay? I hope it's clear. So now, see, from the whole thing, see what again we can take common is, we can take common this 3x minus 2 and 3x minus 2. So if we take 3x minus 2, we are left with x and here minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, I hope it's clear. From this thing we are taking common 3x minus 2 because it's present with x also and with the minus 4 also. So I am taking as common and the remaining is x minus 4 is equal to 0. So we will clear this and we will get back to this. I hope it's clear till now. Okay. So we got 3x minus 2 and x minus 4 is equal to 0, right? Okay. I hope it's clear. So now comes the zero product rule. Okay, now what comes is zero product rule. What is this rule? Everybody, we all know that if we write A into B is 0, there can be three possibilities. Okay, what? Number one is either A is a number or a digit and B is 0. Then also the answer is 0. Number two possibility is A is 0 and B is any other number. Then also the answer is 0. And the third possibility is both A and B are zeros. Then also the answer is 0. So this is a zero product rule, that if the product of any two numbers is 0, then it is very obvious that one of them will be 0, either of them will be 0, or both of them can be zeros. So we'll apply this same rule here. Okay. So we can see here also it's like the product of two numbers leading to a 0. One number is 3x minus 2, another number is x minus 4. So according to the zero product rule, we can write that if we consider this as A and if we consider this as B, then we can write either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Right? What is A here? 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, or we can write x minus 4 is equal to 0. Right? I hope everybody can see clearly. So we can write this. Now it's a simple linear equation which we can solve, like we have learned in class 7 and 8 or like other classes. So what we do is we take this to that side. 3x is equal to plus 2 and x is equal to, it comes 2 by 3. Similarly, we solve this. We take this minus 4 to that side and it becomes plus 4. So here we get the two solutions of x, that is 2 by 3. One is 2 by 3 and another one is plus 4. So what are these solutions? Let's see, what are these solutions? What do you mean by the solutions? Okay, so we are getting these two solutions, right? So let's see. My equation was 3x square minus 14x plus 8 is equal to 0, right? What is a solution? Solution is a number or a digit that if we put that number or digit in this equation, the answer will lead to 0. Let's check whether it happens or not. First we are going to take one solution, that is first solution 2 by 3. So we'll write here 2 by 3 square because there is x square, and we'll write here 2 by 3 plus 8 is equal to 0. So this comes as 4 by 9 minus 28 by 3 plus 8 is equal to 0. So this comes as 4 by 3 minus 28 by 3 plus 8 is equal to 0. Right? So if we do the LCM, 4 minus 28 plus 24 is equal to, sorry. We can't write. We are just solving the equation, so we can't write that equal to 0. We need to solve that whether the answer is coming to 0 or not. So here we get 28 minus 20 is equal to 0 by 3. Finally, we are getting the answer 0. So yeah, this solution is right. Like if we put this 2 by 3 in this equation, then this value is satisfying the equation. Similarly, if we put 4 in place of x, we will get the same answer, that is 0. So this is how we solve an equation using the middle term factorization method. Let's solve another example. Okay. Let's solve two examples. Like first one being 2x square is equal to 3x. Let's rub this. Okay. This first Second is x plus 3, x minus 3 is equal to 40. Okay. Okay. So I'll try to solve this these two examples. Let us solve another one also. I'll give this question a bit later. Let's solve first these two. Okay. So the first question is 2x square is equal to 3x. Okay. How to solve this? Remember, every time we need to arrange the equation in such a manner so that there will be a 0 on the right side of the equals to. So to get a 0 on the right side of the equals to, what you can do is you can take this 3x to the left side. Here is plus, so it will get minus is equal to 0. Right? Now what we can do is, see, what we can get common from these two terms is x, right? Remaining will be 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? See, here again the zero product rule will come into its application. So what we can see here is this is a number and this is another number. Like we can say these two numbers are getting multiplied and the answer will be 0. So what we know is if two numbers are multiplied and the answer is 0, then two possibilities are there, that either of them 0 or both of them are 0. So we write these possibilities that either this first term or a, if we consider this as a, either a is equal to 0. What is a here? X is equal to 0, or this is another number. If we consider this as b, 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Right? It's clear? This x is equal to 0, the answer is given, a solution. We get a solution from this directly. For another solution, we need to solve this linear equation again. I will solve this. This 3 will go that side and we get another solution. So for this equation, we get two solutions. One is as x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 3 by 2. This means if we put 0 here, the equation will be satisfied, or if we put 3 by 2 here, also the equation will be satisfied. Is it clear? So this is an example of the general form ax square plus bx is equal to 0. This is one form of quadratic equation where c is equal to 0. See? Here is no, we can't say any constant part. So here we assume that c is equal to 0, and this is another form of, the general form of quadratic equation. I hope it's clear. Let's solve another example. Next example. Okay, we'll solve it a bit faster. X plus 3, x minus 3 is equal to 40. So first we will just multiply, and we need not to even multiply because we can see here is a form of a plus b and into a minus b. We know the formula. A plus b into a minus b leads to a square minus b square. So we can write it directly, or you can multiply whatever you want. So we can write x square minus 3 square is equal to 40, or x square minus 9 is equal to 40, right? Again we need to, for solving the equation, we need to bring a 0 on the right side of the equal to sign. So let's bring everything else to the left hand side. So we'll get a 0 on the right hand side. We bring this 40 to the left. There will be only a 0 on the right side. So this is what we want. Then let's solve this. 49, right? No problem? Okay. See here, we can get an image what we did here, right? It's the same thing. We can write, see here there is no x part. This is the general form of the equation. C is equal to 0, where b is equal to 0. That's why there is no x part. Normal quadratic equation is of the form, right? If I put b is equal to 0, then the equation becomes this. Okay? So how to solve these kind of equations? Here. Okay? See here, we are again getting a square minus b square form of an equation, right? I can write this in this way, and 49 is 7 square, so I can write it this way, right? A square minus b square. We wrote in the previous step, we wrote a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So now we can do the vice versa. We can write a plus b, a minus b in place of x square, a square minus b square is equal to 0, right? Now again the zero product rule comes to the scene. We write either x plus 7 is equal to 0 or x minus 7 is equal to 0. Again, solving the linear equations would provide us with the solutions. Here we get x is equal to minus 7 as a solution, and here we get x is equal to plus 7 as a solution. So this equation has two solutions. This equation has two solutions, x is equal to plus 7 and x is equal to minus 7. Okay? Is it clear? I hope it's clear. Okay. We'll solve two more examples and it will be over for today. Okay. Let's solve two more examples. So again, an example. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, so these are the two equations that we are going to solve today. So let's see. Okay. So So the first one we'll do it using the middle term factorization method. Let's erase the second question for now. I'll write it again. So how do we solve this? The same process. What do? We take the coefficient of x square, that is root 3. We take the coefficient, the constant term with x to the power 0, the coefficient of x to the power 0, or the constant term, whatever you want to say it. So that's here 6 root 3. Right, the coefficient of x square is root 3 and the constant term is 6 root 3. What do? We multiply them. It comes 6 1 is 6 and root 3 into root 3 gives 3. That comes to 80. Okay. Now we got the product. What are we going to do next? We are going to prime factorize the product. Okay. It's done. It's a very short, less number. Okay. So the prime factorization is done. Again, we need to break these prime factors into two parts such that if we by adding or subtracting them, what we should get? We should get a plus 11. Right? We should get a plus 11. So how to break it? We can see clearly. 3 into 3 will give us 9. And this 2 if we keep alone, then it will give us 2. So if we add 9 plus 2, we get plus 11, right? It is very clear. You can see it very clearly. So let's start again writing the equation. So we will copy it as it is, root 3x square. Now plus 11 we can write it as 9 plus 2x, this x, don't forget this x, and the constant term is equal to 0, right? Okay. So, what to do next? We need to take common. First we need to open the brackets. It comes to 9x, it comes to 2x, 6 root 3, that's done. Okay. Now we need to take common. Okay. So let's, from the first two terms, what can we get common? Is root 3. See? Acha. For your simplicity, I can write it as, you can write it as 9 as 3 into 3x. Okay. 3 into 3x, or this 3 into 3x, we can write it 3 into root 3. That also sums up, leads to 9. So from both of the terms, what we can get common is a x and a root 3. Okay. So I'll take a root 3 common and a x common as well. So what we are left with, here only a x, and from here we are left with 3 into root 3. Okay. From here we can take common as well. What we can take common is a 2. Right. We are left with here x and 3 root 3. See, 2 into 3 root 3 gives 6 root 3 and 2x into 2x gives. Okay. Is it clear? Simply, or you can simply see this and you can put it here. But be very careful about what you write here, because or else your sum will get wrong. So, okay. Now, we can see from both of these terms, we can take something common, and that is x plus 3 root 3. X plus 3 root 3 is present here also and here also. So we can take x plus 3 root 3 as common, and then what we are left with? We are left with here, we are left with root 3x, and here we are left with plus 2. Take care of the signs, okay? And equal to 0. Similarly, the zero product rule, either x plus 3 root 3 is equal to 0 or root 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. Solving these linear equations, you will get the solutions. From here you will get x is equal to minus 3 root 3, and from here you will get as, okay. I hope it's clear. So this equation has two solutions. One is x equal to minus 3 root 3 and another one is minus 2 by root 3. Solved it using the middle term factorization method. The same process we are using again and again. Hope it's clear. So let's solve another equation. This one's gonna be long. Okay, so let's again write the question. The question was, sorry, it's 2. Okay, the question was 7x plus 1 by 7x plus 5 is equal to 3x plus 1 by 5x plus 1. Okay, this was the question. Okay, so how to solve these kind of equations? They are fractions, right? Okay, remember one thing, whenever there are fractions, just cross multiply. Okay, what do you mean by cross multiplication? Simply, you know, this thing will go there, this thing will go there. This is very easy, right? So how to solve this? 7x plus 1 was here. Now this on the right side is going upwards and it's getting multiplied with it. Similarly here 3x plus 1 was here, and the denominator is going to the right hand side and getting multiplied with it. Okay, so this is how it looks after cross multiplication. Now we need to do simple multiplication as we do. So what it comes? 7x 35x square, 7x plus 7x plus 5x plus 1. Here it comes as 21x square plus 15x plus 7x plus 5. Simple multiplication. Okay. Now 35x square, this comes to 12x plus 1, it's 21x square, plus this comes to as 22x plus 5. Okay, I hope no problem. Okay, then what do we do to solve a quadratic equation? We always have to bring a 0 on the right hand side. So what do? We take all the terms to the left hand side. So only thing that is left on the right hand side is 0. So we will take everything on the left hand side. So it's 20 plus 21x square. When it comes to left, it becomes minus 21x square. Here it's plus 12x. When it comes to left hand side, it becomes minus 22x. Here is plus 1, and this becomes minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. So no problem. So now it comes as 14x square, and this comes as 10x, this comes as 4 is equal to 0. Okay. Okay. Before solving this quadratic equation with the middle term factorization method, we can do one thing. We can see 2. We can take something common, that is 2. If we take 2 common from this whole equation, then the equation becomes simpler. Nothing else. You can directly solve this equation using middle term factorization method, or you can take 2 common so that the equation becomes simpler, and then you can proceed with the middle term factorization method. Okay. So now this 2 is multiplied with this. If we take it on the right hand side, this 2 gets divided, which again gives us a 0. So now finally the equation becomes this. Okay. And again you can solve it using middle term factorization method. So that is your homework. The answers with the roots, solutions. Sometimes we also say solutions or roots of the equation. So the answers will be x is equal to 1 and minus 2 by 7. It's your homework. Solve it in. Okay. So if we solve this using middle term factorization method, we will get the answers as x is equal to 1 and minus 2 by 7. Okay. So this is it. This is your homework. The rest part is your homework. And I just want to show you a simple thing, a very short thing, and then we will get done with this part. If any equation is in the form of, say, x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0, and we need to solve this using middle term factorization method. What do? We again multiply the coefficient of x square and the constant term. So here, see, there is only x square, right? There is nothing written on the left hand side of the x square. So what's its coefficient? Its coefficient is 1. Okay. So we need to multiply the coefficient of x square and the constant term. Here the coefficient of x square is 1 and the constant term is, mind it is minus 10 and not only 10, because I've shown you the general form of a quadratic equation is this. When we compare this equation with this, we can write this in the form of okay. Now if we compare these two equations, we get a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 3, c is equal to minus 10. Right? So now we can again proceed with the same process, that we need to multiply a and c, 1 and minus 10, that gives us minus 10. Okay. Now we need to prime factorize this product. It's minus 10. We need to prime factorize this product in such a way and break it in two parts in such a way so that their addition or subtraction will give us this, p is equal to minus 3. So this is also your homework. Please write down, and I hope all the sums are clear to you. We will see you in the next part. Thank you.